This video will show you how to download Visual Studio and set up your solutions and projects. So the first thing we want to do is go to um, download Visual Studio. So we're just going to type download Visual Studio, and we're going to select the first thing that comes up here. And we want the community edition. So we want to download Visual Studio 2022 Community free download. And that's going to download to our downloads folder. So here I'm going to double click on Visual Studio Setup and let it download and install. Okay, so the one thing you want to make sure that you check on the screen is you want to do desktop development with C++. So we want to make sure we have desktop development with C++ checkboxed, and that should be the only thing we really need. And then we're going to hit install, and I'm going to pause the video now while it downloads and installs. Okay, so we're going to resume the video now. So Visual Studio has just finished downloading and installing. So what we want to do now is you can just skip this for now. You don't have to create an account, so you can just hit skip this for now. And then choose your color theme. Um, so, I mean, you can choose any of these. I'll just stick with blue. And then we're going to start Visual Studio. Okay, so before we do this, we want to go and create a folder. And so if we look at this document here, or actually, if we look, let's say we look here in this lecture PowerPoint slides, this is basically how we want to set up our solutions and labs. And so each week there will be a solution. Okay, so this one we'll call Lab 2 Solution, and then we'll create projects underneath that. And then the projects will have the actual file names. Okay, but what we want to do is create a folder where we can store everything. So you can just go to somewhere either on your personal computer or a flash drive. You can just create a folder, and I'm going to call this ELET 115N. Okay, so this is going to be where I store all my work. So that would correspond to just a folder here where we're going to store all our work. Okay, and also within that folder, I'll go ahead and create another folder called My Lab Solutions. All right, and so we'll basically have a folder for the course, and then My Lab Solutions, and then under here is where we'll store all the solutions, and then the projects within the solutions. All right, so we should be good to go. So what we want to do is we want to create a new project, and you're going to get a bunch of stuff here. So if you just type empty up here in the search bar, we want a empty project with C++. Okay, so we want to select that, and we hit next, And then here's where we've got to make sure our directory structure is correct. So the location is going to be the folder we just created. Okay, so I created that here. So here's my ELET 115N, and then my lab solutions. So that's going to be the location. So this might be on your flash drive, or somewhere on your hard disk. Um, but I think it's best to have a folder with the course name, and then a folder that's underneath that says My Lab Solutions. Okay, and then for the solution name, we're going to follow this syntax where we basically have the lab number with the solution, and then the projects will have the lab number with the project. Okay, so what that will look like is the solution name we'll call lab2 underscore SOL for solution, but then the project we'll call lab2 underscore project 1. Okay, so that lines up with the way this directory structure is showing us. So we have lab2 solution, lab2 project 1, lab2 project 2, so on and so forth. And then we'll have our CPP files within the project. Okay, so we've got our location is going to be in My Lab Solutions, and then the solution name will be Lab2 Solution for week 2, and the project name will be Lab2 Project 1, and we'll hit create. And okay, and so we don't have to do this, and then we can get rid of the new window. And this is what we have. So this is what we wanted. So we've got the solution is Lab2 solution, and then we've got Lab2 project 1. And for project 1, we're actually going to be given a CPP file for the restaurant bill. So what we can do is we go to Lab2 project 1, and we can add, let's see, open folder and file explorer. Okay, and so what we want to do is put that solution or that CPP file in here. Okay, so let me go back to downloads. So this restaurant bill.cpp I got from Canvas. So I'm going to copy, and I'm going to place that in this folder. Okay, so this is going in the Lab2 solution, Lab2 project 1 folder. Okay, so that's where I place it, and I still need to add it to the project. So now what I want to do is go to Lab2 project 1, and we're going to add existing item, and we're going to add restaurant bill.cpp. So we add, and so there it is. And that's it. I mean, that's really all there is to it. So you get your solution, you've got your Lab2 project 1 underneath your solution, and then you've got restaurant bill.cpp, and this program is actually provided for you. And so what you can do is go ahead and we can build it. So if we go to Lab2 project, we go to say build solution, then it will build here. Okay, and then we can debug, start without debugging. Okay, and so this program calculates a total meal charge and this displays the information. Okay. And then if you have more than one project, so like we said for this one, let's say we're going to have, lab 2, project 2, lab 2, project 3, then we would go up to the solution and we would add new project. Okay. And we still want an empty project, just like here. It's a recent template. Okay. And then we want, we're going to leave the location the same, but then we'll just call this lab 2 project 2, right? So lab 2 project 1, so lab 2 project 2. So we'll create that. So now look, we have lab 2 solution, we've got lab 2 project 1, we've got lab 2 project 2. For this one, we don't have a starter file. So what we need to do is add, so on this project, we're going to add a new item, and we want to call that average of values.cpp. So we're going to call this average of values.cpp. We're going to add that. Now we have this CPP file, right? So we've got lab 2 project 1, we've got the restaurant bill. Lab 2 project 2, we've got average of values. This one's blank, so we have to start this one from scratch. So what we could do here is just to kind of get the template, we could actually just copy, so we could copy this, okay, and then we could paste here, and I'll close this one out. So now this is the average of values. We could save this one, and then this will be a new project, so we'll just delete the proof. Okay, we'll delete the proof, and we'll delete the stuff relating to the previous project there. Okay, and then of course we would fill in the stuff up here, right? So here you would fill in your name, you'd fill in the date. Again, this is lab 2. This wouldn't be restaurant bill. This would be, oops. This would be average of values. And then we'd have to update the description and things like that. Okay. So we could save this. Okay. And so, let's see. So then what we could do is set this as a startup project. Here, if we set that as a startup project, and let's go ahead and build. Okay. And if we debug, then we have nothing because we haven't put any code in there yet. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. Just showing you how to set up Visual Studio, and then the structure that we want to follow with a solution, and then the solution contains the projects, and then each project contains the CPP files. So that will do it for this video.